Hello everyone and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders, your ultimate destination for everything surrounding the legendary Dallas Cowboy. No matter where you are watching from around the world, we are truly glad to have you here today. This is more than just a channel, this is a community which build for passionate fans who live and breathe football, which is NFL. Those who analyze every plan, every decision, and every move which made in the National Football League. Here on Cowboys Insiders, we don't just talk about the headlines, we go deeper. We break down the strategy and we explore the possibilities and we give you the kind of insight that keeps you one step ahead to everyone else. So if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notification so you never miss an update. And to everyone who has already subscribed, thank you for being part of the growing the family. Your support means everything and it's what keep this channel going strong. Now let's talk about why this moment is important for the Dallas Cowboys. Every season brings a new expectations, a new challenges, a new opportunities, but this off-season and NFL draft feels different. There is a sense of urgency, a feeling that this team is right now, right on edge of something special. The talent is there, the foundation is strong, but the question remains, what is the missing piece that can take these teams all the way? That's exactly what we are here to figure out. You can expect in-depth coverage of everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys, from the breaking news and trade rumors and player analysis and full game breakdown. We will be diving into a key moment, spotlighting rising stars, and discussing the discussions that could shape the future of the franchise. And right now, all eyes are on the biggest event of the offseason, the NFL draft. This is where a team are built, where the future are decided, and where the next generation of stars begins their journey. For the Cowboys, this draft could be turning points. The light picks could elevate these teams into a true championship contender, and the long ones could leave fans asking what if all over the games. This is your place for a little conversation, a little opinions, and a little passions for a game. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and most important, stay ready, because the journey is just getting started and you don't want to miss a single moment. So the off-season is always defining a period for every team in the National Football League, but for the Dallas Cowboys, these moments feels even more critical. As the 2026 NFL Draft started, the franchise found itself standing at crossroads between continuing as a competitive team and finally transforming into a true championship contender. Over the past few seasons, the Cowboys have shown a flashes of brilliance, but they have also struggled with inconsistency, especially in the biggest moments. So that is why this draft is not just another year event for the Dallas. It is an opportunity to reshape the identity of the team and build a stronger foundation for the futures. At the heart of the Cowboys' current situation is their quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott remains one of the most important figures in the franchise, a leader with experience and the ability to guide the offense when everything is functioning properly. However, even the best quarterback in the league cannot succeed without a light support around them. In a recent season, Prescott has faced a pressure due to offensive line that has not been dominant as it once was. Injury urging players and inconsistencies have weakened what used to be one of the strongest units in football. This has had direct impact not only on Prescott's performance but also on entire of offensive system. The running game is another area where the Dallas Cowboys have experienced a noticeable decline during a prime years of Ezekiel Elliott, and the team had powerful and reliable rushing attacks that could control the tempo of the game. Today, what some level of dominance is missing. While they have been moments of promise, there is no clear long-term solution at the running back position. In the modern NFL, where offensive balance is a key, having a dynamic running back who can both run effectively and contribute in the passing game is essential. This makes the draft perfect opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to address these needs and inject a new energy into the offense. When it comes to a passing game, the Cowboys are fortunate to have a true star like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has established himself as the one of the top wide receivers in the league, capable of making a big plays and carrying significant portions of the offensive load. However, relying too heavily on a single receiver can make an offense predictable. Defenses can adjust their strategies to limit Lamb's impact, forcing other players to step up. This is why adding another wide receiver through a draft could be a crucial move. A fast and explosive players who can stretch the field would not only complement a Lamb but also create more opportunities for the entire offense. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have one of the most exciting players in the NFL in the Micah Parsons. Parsons has the ability to change the outcomes of the game with his speed, strength, and versatility, and he is kind of player every team dreams to build around. However, football is a team sport, and even player of the Parsons caliber cannot do everything alone. The Cowboys' defense, while strong in certain areas, still lacks a depth and consistency in others, and strengthening the defensive line and adding a talent to a secondary could significantly improve the overall performance of the unit. As the NFL draft draws closer, the strategy of the Dallas Cowboys become a topic of intense discussions. One passing approach is to focus heavily on the offensive line, selecting a player who can immediately step in and provide protection for a Dak Prescott. Another approach would be to prioritize skills positions, such as running back or wide receiver, in order to create a more explosive offense. There is also the option of selecting the best player available regardless of position, strategy that can sometimes lead to unexpected but valuable addition to a team. The Cowboys could also consider trading down in the draft, a move that would allow them to acquire additional picks and build a depth across a multiple position. This approach requires careful planning and clear understanding of the team's long-term goals. While it may not provide an immediate impact from a single star player, it can create more balanced and complete roster over time. Ultimately, the success of this draft will depend on decisions made by the Cowboys front office and coaching staff. So every pick carries a certain level of the risk, but it also represent an opportunity. The difference between good teams and the great ones after comes down to how well franchise can identify and develop talent through the draft. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to address their weaknesses, reinforce their strength, and take significant steps forward. Looking ahead, the impact of the 2026 NFL Draft could shape the future of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. A successful draft could elevate the team to a new level, turning them into a serious contender capable of making a deep playoff runs. On the other hand, missed opportunity could result in continued frustration and unfulfilled potential. This is what makes the draft such a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. As fans wait to see how everything unfolds, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have a pieces to complete, but they need the right addition to complete the puzzle, and the decision they make in this draft will not only influence the upcoming season but also on YouTube and your hood purchase of the journal. So if you love the Dallas Cowboy and if you like to believe football, and if you want a really consistent and exciting content, then you are the right place here. The Dallas Cowboy in the NFL draft of 2026 draft is one of the urgency, ambition, and calculated risk. As the draft unfolds, it has become increasingly clear that this is not just another routine roster building exercise for the Dallas. This is defining moment that could shape the franchise's future for years to come in the Dallas Cowboy. For the months leading up the draft, speculation surrounded what approaches the Cowboys would take. Would they play it safe and build a death? Or would they go all in, targeting an elite prospect who could immediately transform the team into a Super Bowl contender? So now as events develop, the answer seems to lean heavily toward aggressions and bold decisions making. At the center of it all, owner Jerry Jones, the figure known across the league for his willingness to take risks in pursuit of the greatness. This year, his influence is once again evidence. So, report from inside of the Cowboys organization, it suggests that Jones has been heavily involved in the draft. In the draft discussions, pushing for impact players rather than conservative selections. His vision is clear: a Dallas must not only compete but dominate other teams in the NFL this year. One of the most talked about areas for the Cowboys in this draft has been the offense. Despite having proven quarterback in Dak Prescott, the team recognizes that more firepower is needed. In today's NFL, explosive offenses win championship, and Dallas is determined to keep a pace with a league elite. As a result, the front office has been closely monitoring wide receiver and offensive playmaker who can stretch the field, create mismatches, and turn short plays into big gains. Insiders have revealed that the Cowboys have shown a serious interest in dynamic receiving talent. So, a players with a narrow speed, precise route running, and the ability to perform under pressure. The goal is to give Prescott another weapon who can change the game at any moment, forcing defenses to adjust and opening up opportunities across the field. But offense is only half the story. The Cowboys' defense, anchored by superstar linebacker Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is already one of the most feared units of the league. However, the front office believes that adding the light pieces could elevate it to an entirely new level. So the edge rushers, a shutdown corner, and versatile defensive backs are all being evaluated as potential targets. Parsons in particular has become the centerpiece of the defensive strategy, and his ability to disrupt offenses, pressure quarterback, and make game-changing plays has made him one of the most valuable players in the entire NFL. The Cowboys' draft strategy appears focused on surrounding him with complementary talent, players who can capitalize on the churros, and he creates and turns it into a turnover and defensive dominance. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Dallas draft activity is the possibility of the trades. So throughout the day, rumors have intensified that the Cowboys are actively exploring deals to move up with the draft order. So this is not just something Dallas goes lightly, which makes the situation even more compelling. Moving up would likely to require sacrificing valuable picks, but the rewards could be landing a generational talent. League sources suggest that the Cowboys have identified a small group of prospects they consider they must have players. So if one of these players begins to slide, Dallas could make a bold move to secure them. These approaches reflect a franchise that understands the importance of inherent talent and is willing to pay the price to get it. At the same time, the Cowboys are being careful not to overlook the importance of the depth. So later rounds of the draft are expected to focus on building a stronger and more balanced roster. Offensive linemen and linebackers and the rotational defensive players are all on the ladder of the Dallas Cowboys. So these selections may not generate headlines, but they are crucial for sustaining a success over a long NFL seasons. So another key factor influencing the Cowboys' decision is evaluating process. Coaches and scouts of the Dallas Cowboys have spent countless hours analyzing a game film and conducting interviews, and also assessing the character of each prospect. For the Dallas, talent alone is not enough. They are just looking for players who bring a leadership in a team, discipline, and winning mentality, qualities that align with the culture of the team is trying to build. So as the draft continues, reaction from the fans and analysts have been intense. Every pick is scrutinized, every decision debated. Cowboys fans, known for their passions and high expectations, are watching closely, hoping that this year draft will finally bring the missing pieces needed for a deep playoff run or even championship. The stakes could not be higher. The NFC is loaded with the strong team, and the margin for error is laser thin. One great draft can propel a team to top, while a poor one can set it back for the years. So the Cowboys are full aware of this reality, which is why their approach this year feels different, more aggressive and more focused and more determined well. By the end of the 2026 NFL Draft may be remembered as the turning point for the Dallas Cowboys, whether through the board trades, smart selection, or combination of both, and the decisions made during this event will define the direction of the franchise. For now, all eyes remain on the Dallas. The picks are being made, the board is shifting, and the future is being written in a little time and predict what the Dallas will do. But one thing in certain, this team cannot afford to miss. So for the mock draft trends and what experts are saying on the Dallas Cowboys NFL draft of this year, across the multiple mock draft, a few consistent patterns are emerging when it comes to a Dallas. Number one is our offensive line reinforcement. Many analysts believe that the Dallas Cowboys will prioritize protecting their quarterback and rebuilding a dominance in a trenches. Names like inert college tacklers and guards are frequently linked to a Dallas. The idea is simple in the Dallas. Control the line of scrimmage, dominate physically, and return to a more balanced offensive identity. This strategy reflects the philosophy that once defined a Cowboys during their most successful years. A strong offensive line and leading to explosive offenses. The second upgrade is a secondary focus in defensive. While Dallas has had flashes of defensive brilliance, inconsistency in the secondary has cost them in a big moment. Several mock draft project cornerbacks or safeties landing in Dallas. Players who bring a speed, awareness, and a stability to create turnovers. The modern NFL is pass heavy, and if the Cowboys want to compete with narrow teams, they need a defenders who can match up against a top tier receivers. So another popular direction in a mock draft is adding offensive weapons. Whether it's a wide receiver with a game-breaking speed or versatile running back, Dallas could look to give their offense more explosiveness. There is a growing belief that the Cowboys need another dynamic playmaker, someone who can change the games instantly and take a pressure off the passing game in the Dallas Cowboys. So, the Jerry Jones factor for NFL draft this season in the Dallas Cowboys. So, Jerry Jones, there is no discussions about the Cowboys. Is complete without mentioning a Jerry Jones. His influence on the draft decision is legendary. So sometimes bold, sometimes controversial, but always impactful for the team. So the Jerry Jones is known for making unexpected moves, and that unpredictability adds another layers of excitement to every mock draft. Analysts can project all they want, but when draft night arrives, the Dallas often surprise everyone. So in the perfect roles, the Cowboys walk away from this draft with a starting calibers offensive lineman and a defensive playmakers ready to contribute, and immediately a high upside skills players can develop into a star. But there is also some leaks that affect the Dallas Cowboys in these NFL draft mocks. Reaching for a players, ignoring key needs, or failing to adapt as a draft unfolds could leave a Dallas in difficult position. This means the NFL draft is unpredictable and even the best teams can walk away with disappointing results. For a franchise with a championship expectations, anything less than a strong draft class will raise a serious questions. So, so as we move on close to NFL this draft, those tension, speculation, and excitement surrounding the Dallas are reaching another level inside the league cycle, and things are starting to take a shape. Front officers are finalizing their board's private workout, are wrapping up, and the Dallas, this is where a little strategy begins. Not just a guesswork. What makes this year different is that the Cowboys are not just looking for depth, they are looking for impact. This is a team that believes it is a closer to competing at the highest level in the NFL, and the draft is being treated as the weapon to push them over a need for a Super Bowl. So there is the latest developments around the Dallas draft strategy. Number one is a heavy focus on offensive line to rebuild. One of the strongest development coming out of the Dallas is their growing interest in offensive linemen. Internally, there is a belief that a dominance in the trenches must return if this team wants to control a game again. So there is some names consistently linked to the Dallas in this NFL draft. Number one is J.C. Lathan. He is a powerful tackle with innate size and strength. Many insiders believe he can fit in the Dallas Cowboys' physical identity perfectly. The other is Alo Fashanu, a technically polished and extremely reliable in a pass protection, a safe high floor options, a terrace swagger, and a rising prospect with aggression and versatility, capable of playing a multiple position on the line. So there is a whisper that the Dallas could prioritize an offensive lineman even if a flashy skills play is still unavailable. That tells you how serious they are about rebuilding the foundations. The defensive playmaker still on the ladder. A disparate offensive needs, the Cowboys are not ignoring a defense. In the fact, some mock drafts suggest